Man, she took it really hard. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you're not allowed to be sad. I'm just saying she took that really hard. Lucky Strike. Lucky Strike stands in the customary place, her gear piled atop a nearby bar stool. For once she isn't smoking. She gives a small nod as you approach. Hey again, SCKC, what's up? I stole some cheap booze from my last job. Do you want some cheap booze? You said that you've got a team in Mite. I'd like to hear a little more about them. I've been needing to ask, what's with the tattooed circuitry? Is it purely decorative or... It can't be decorative. It must be functional. Alright, how's it... Tell me about your team. She shrugs. Well, they're good people. They get the job done. What else do you need to know? I mean, I don't need to know anything. I'd like to know. I'd like to hear, like, what kind of people you hang with. Maybe you have tips for how I should run my team. I don't know. A little more than that. Some details would be nice. Alright, sure, why not? Oh, that was easy. I mean, if you don't offer the information originally, like, is there some secret? Like, are you a secret team? And then she's like, oh, you know, no, I'll tell you. I'll tell you, sure, I'll tell you. Okay. Well, why do I have to ask twice if you're open about it? We got Rektar. He's a rigger, an immigrant from the Russian Republic. Genius mechanic and engineer. The guy built his own crawler form drone, and he's impressive as hell at piloting it. Crawler form drone, so it's a legs. It's got legs. It's cool. There's Barracuda, the team's shaman and faceman. He's an elf in his mid-40s. He's got the whole silver fox thing working for him. He conducts most of our negotiations. Great card player. Hakchen. Hanchen. Hanchen is our decker, and Rick Chris a tough guy. Troll, huge. Covered in tats and piercings. You know the type. I'm pretty sure that he and Barracuda have a thing going on, but they never cop to it. She presents herself to you with an ironic smile. And then there's me. Between us, we keep our bases covered. The troll is a decker? How does he operate the deck with his giant fingers? Does he use like a human keyboard, or does he have a special big troll keyboard? I'm sure that you do. I'm willing to bet that my crew's better though. There's still space for you. Yeah, no, let's not do this. Come on. You're gonna nag her team? You're gonna say, oh, your team sounds cool, but it could be better. What are you, an asshole? Sounds that way. How did they work with? Solid. We're all on the same page and nobody's afraid to speak his mind. Nice. We all get how a crew of anarchist runners is supposed to work, even Rektar, who's still pretty new to the scene here in Berlin. It gets tense from time to time, but it's supposed to get tense. Better that than to have to defer to a leader and follow orders. We're all free and we know it. So about this anarchist thing and this freedom thing. So the way I see it, that's my microphone. The way I see it, a leader is not somebody who tells other people what to do. A leader is more of a coordinator, right? A leader is the person who coordinates, like, you know, there's a job, and then you have a team, so you have to divide the job into tasks for the team, right? Otherwise, like, what the hell are you doing? So you're like, you know, you have a, you know, you have multiple things you need to do, and then you assign people to the. That's the leader's job. The leader's job is not to tell people. It's not to boss people around. But the job's specialty is to divide the objective into tasks that are suitable for the team members, and then to coordinate how those tasks interact to accomplish the objective. It's project management, is what I'm saying. right? Like, in my opinion, that's what a leader does. Not like boss people around, but to coordinate the team. A coordinator and a project manager. And, you know, like, anarchists. Like, not having a like, you don't have to have a leader, but you can't not have a coordinator if you have a complex job you have to do. A complex objective that requires multiple people to work together in a time synchronized manner. You see what I mean? Like, this is complicated stuff, and you need a specialist who specializes in coordinating. And that's the leader's job. Not to tell people what to do against their will or anything like that. So I don't really believe in anarchy. I don't really believe in anarchy as a philosophy because of what I just said. Because when you have a complex thing that you need to accomplish, you can't accomplish big complex things where, like, imagine you need like hundreds of people to work together in a synchronized manner to complete this really complicated project. Like that, and like an anarchist organization simply can't do that effectively in the absence of professional coordination, right? Like, so I think leadership is necessary for complex tasks. Now, that doesn't mean that the leader should boss people around and piss people off and force people to do things they don't want to. That's not what leadership means to me. Anyway, enough about them. I don't come here to talk about work. Was there something else that you wanted to talk about? Yeah, and so, like, if you look around the world, you know, there is no country with no government. And if there is a country with no government, that means they're in the middle of some sort of civil war and people are dying. there's no like, you look at all the countries around the world, look at all the places, look at all the societies around the world, and name one that doesn't have a central government. Doesn't have one. Like, there's no such thing. And if you say, well, that's not what anarchy is. Okay, well, anarchy, if anarchy has a government, then how is it? Then what part of it is still anarchy? You say, well, you know, they consent. You know, they willingly consent to being governed. Yeah, okay. I mean, okay. I consent to being governed by my government. I mean, I live in New Zealand. We have a fairly democratic government. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I don't live in an anarchist society, and I consent to it. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I've been meaning to ask, what's up with the tattooed circuitry? Is it purely decorative, or... It is now, it wasn't always though. She stretches her neck so that the circuit patterns on her face can catch the light. What you're looking at used to be tattoo magic. Got it done when I was in Tokyo, doing a job for the Yakuza. Tattoo magic. Tattoo magic, huh? That's a new one on me. Yeah, it was for me too. It's a meta magic thing, a way of quickening spells to a person, binding magic into the flesh, so that it's almost impossible to get rid of. Anyway, long story short, I found a way to break it. Now it just looks pretty in the lamplight. You broke it. What did the tattoos do before you broke them? She pauses for a moment, considering. Finally, she shrugs. Sure, I'll tell you, why not? Maybe knowing will keep you from making the same mistake. So, when I went to work for the Yaks, they offered, no, insisted, that I let them ink me. So I said I need it for the job. Long story short, the tattoos did boost my abilities, but they also branded me. marked me as Yakuza property, and gave them an easy way of tracking me from the astral plane. Well, okay. I mean, they are the Yakuza, you know what I mean? Can't. You know, that's what they do. Like it's like complaining that birds fly. That's what they do. How to break the spell? That's an even longer story, and not one that I want to get into. Suffice to say that it started with killing the guy who inked me, and ended in a pretty dark place. The upshot is that I can't go back to Japan, ever. But at least I got my autonomy back. I mean, maybe they've forgiven you by now. How long has it been? How long has it been? I think, how long did they hold the grudge? She pauses for a moment to light it up another cigarette. After she fills her lungs with smoke, she continues. So the moral of the story, I guess, is not to take an employer's word at face value. It's a lesson that every Shadowrunner needs to learn sooner or later. But I had a harder time with it than most. Now, can we talk about something else? Or better yet, can we just shut up and have a drink or two? All this yapping is making me thirsty. I mean, as far as I can tell, she never does any jobs. She just stands here and drinks all day. Alright, see you around. I mean, Yakuzas are gonna Yakuza, you know what I mean? What do you expect them to do? Don't take a client's word at face value. Yeah, no, I understand that. I understand that. Didn't we have information? Deliver the AG Kimi project data, drug formula and visual records. The machine accepts the data upload, and only a few moments later a certified cred stick is spat out of the coin slot. The phone's old LCD readout displays the text, Freedom, Equality, Information, Shock, Will and Writer. Alright, so we got $1,000 from that. Sweet. We just put some pretty dangerous information out onto the dark web. It's a chemical that allows metahumans to be very, very heavily augmented. What could possibly go wrong? Do I want more cyberware? I can't actually put that much more cyberware in. I can put this, like, minimum essence is 1, right? I can put this in, not that I have the money, and then I can put like 3.5 things in. I don't want the bliss injector though. I can't really put any other stuff in. Quickness, strength, HP. So like I can put one of this in. Yeah, no, I can't really fit much more in. Can I take it off? Can I remove augments and get my leg back? Can I get my leg back? Oh, let's level up. What are we doing with our level ups? Quickness 555. Decking 55. We don't really use decking that much, right? I'm just wondering, do I really want to put 6 decking? Alright, we're gonna go decking first and then guns. Man, I could use better guns though. Need more armor piercing. Suck Flash. We can't talk to him about Simi. We can't talk to him about Zimi, even though she told us that it's his old workmate, his old partner, who's causing trouble. We don't have money for a gun, let's not talk to the gun guy. I thought we arranged a meeting in the U-Bahn. Huh. adjourn on? I have a question for you if you don't mind. Alright, he's got nothing new to say. Kami? Kami puts away her calm and grins at you, a puckish gleam in her eyes. Hey pal, I missed you. Got any new stories for me? I was wondering whose stories around here are worth listening to. Well, that's classified information, chummer. If you stick around here a while, you'll figure it out soon enough. Come on, Kami. I'm trying to help people. In the meantime, a little tip to start you off. I personally like chatting up the old guys. They always got some great stories. I'm sure they live just to talk to you. And what do they have to say? I'm not an old man. Does that mean my stories aren't great? You know what? Let's flatter her a little bit. I'm sure they live just to talk to you. They sure do. One of the guys, Shrotty, he just lights up whenever I come by. Yeah, I'm sure he does. He's always got something to say though. So it's often about the same stuff over and over again. He just needs to tell people about what he's working on. He seems like the kind of guy who could live a hermit's life. But to me, it's obvious he needs someone to talk to. Maybe it helps him work, I don't know. There's also Altak, if you can get him to shut up about his coffee for a minute. So what's the story there? Well, he's taken up residence as the official Turk, stereotypes and everything. Spy master, coffee brewer, outsider. It works for him. He had to make some sort of living here in the Krauts Bazaar, you know? He's not great, he's not got a trade skill. He's not goblin noise, so he couldn't hang with Beckenbauer. If he opened a normal shop, he'd be ousted by someone thinking he's stealing their job because he's not German. The coffee shop was a good option because it's obvious. He stays exotic and does what they expect of him with the intel and stuff. She pulls absent-mindedly at some hair in her face. Sorry about the intel dump, it's not really useful information. And you'd probably guessed anyway at this point, but you asked, so... You've been a real door, gotten way too much information out of me though. I'll see you around, yeah? Alright, little... spy thing? He's just... gathering information from everyone? Cheap booze. It says cheap booze. Found this liquor in my travels. Worth anything? We weren't smart enough to find the good booze. No, not quite. I received cases of this for less discerning clientele. I could offer you maybe 10 yen. Buragazi, do you have any idea where I got this from? I broke into a corporate CEO, shot like 24 guys to bring you this bottle of alcohol. And you're giving me 10 bucks? Alright, 10 bucks. Hey, the thing died. My organization is displeased with your performance in the AG Kimi Europa office. It would have been very easy for you to make some extra yen by doing what we asked of you. Now, do we have any other business to discuss? Alright, apparently I can't. I can't smart ass him. Hey, turns out Mark 6 wasn't that impressive because he died. You know? I mean, I saved you money, right? You were gonna pay a lot of money for what was clearly a defective product. Because it broke. I didn't break it either. Like, it literally broke itself. No, literally, it broke itself. I didn't break it. So it wasn't a very good product. What I'm saying is, I saved you money, and so the lodge should be happy about that. Just browsing, don't mind me. I got nothing new to talk to her about.